This is KiniNews and I'm your host Prasad, bringing you today's top stories. In the name of defending Islam, an influential royal figure has spoken up against Dr Mahathir Mohamad, going so far as to call his actions in the past as dishonest. Dr Mahathir Mohamad has been accused of being dishonest on the Pakatan Harapan-era plans to ratify the Rome Statute and the International Convention on the Elimination of all forms of racial discrimination, also known as Icerd. Writing on the matter on Facebook, Johor Crown Prince Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim said this is why he objected the Harapan government's plans to ratify the two international treaties. He said he was educated from an early age to always respect all religions and people of different races, adding that his family members have also made contributions to people of all races and religions and will continue to assist in the welfare of all races. However, he elaborated that he was also a Malay and have not forgotten his duty to defend Islam. According to him, this is why he opposed the Rome Statute and Icerd. The Crown Prince said not only was Mahathir dishonest to the Conference of Rulers, but the former Prime Minister was also not completely honest to the people. Tunku Ismail said things done in a hurry at the time would have threatened the well-being of the people and affected the privileged rights of the Malays. After being barred from entering court earlier this week, Najib today wasn't stopped, but his Master Jatra status remains the same. Najib Abdul Razak was finally allowed back into the courtroom today. On Monday and Tuesday this week, Najib's yellow Master Jatra status barred him from entering the High Court in Kuala Lumpur. This resulted in his 2.28 billion ringgit 1MDB corruption trial being vacated. However, Najib's Master Jatra status still indicates a casual contact or yellow colour. He was seen sitting in the dock during the criminal court hearing before Judge Colin Lawrence Suquera. The accused counsel, Hari Arantara Singh, informed Suquera that Najib's attendance in court today was not in breach of government regulation or judicial direction. Proceedings before Suquera continued with Hari Haran cross-examining prosecution witness Ismi Ismail, a former 1MDB board member. The Kuala Lumpur court complex generally only allows those with low risk or blue status to enter the premises. How young is too young? I'm not talking about voting, I'm talking about marriage. But the issue when it comes to Muslim girls is not under the purview of the federal government, which was looking to raise it to 18. However, the state governments wish to maintain it at 16.
The government has decided to maintain the minimum marriage age for Muslim girls at 16 years old. This comes after the government considered the proposal to raise the limit to 18 years old. Religious Affairs Minister Idris Ahmad said the government had collected feedback from state governments regarding this proposal, as this is a matter under the state's jurisdiction. He said based on the feedback and the views that were received, most states have essentially agreed to maintain the existing age limit as enshrined in the respective state's Islamic family law. Idris stressed that the Department of Sharia Judiciary has taken steps to ensure that those who request to marry underage go through a rigorous evaluation process so that the interests of all parties involved are preserved. In the 3 years since the enforcement of the SOPs, Idris said the number of applications for underage marriages showed a reduction of 787 cases compared to the 3 years before the enforcement started.
Following a meeting with the government and opposition leaders, Dewan Rakyat will have one more day to decide on the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Amendment Bill 2021.
Lawmakers will be back in the Dewan Rakyat on Monday to debate and decide on the Prevention and Control of Infectious Diseases Amendment Bill 2021. The process was initially supposed to be completed by today. However, Speaker Azhar Azizan Harun said the Prime Minister has agreed to add one more day to this sitting. The bill will now go through the debates in the second reading and will be decided upon the third reading on Monday in the Dewan Rakyat. Earlier today, Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin urged all lawmakers to support the bill as the amendments would strengthen the government's arsenal in the fight against COVID-19. He also rejected opposition claims that the proposed amendments were punitive in nature. Meanwhile, the new political party Muda has called on the government to hold its proposal to amend Act 342, saying that it was rushed and, quote, unreasonable.
Now we have a message from our sponsor. When we're back, find out why not everyone is happy that they'll need to be back in Dewan Rakyat on Monday.
Shellfish, red meat, and beer. If you love indulging in these foods, you may end up with high uric acid level in your blood. These foods consist high level of purine, a substance that will eventually break down into uric acid and be excreted through our urine. It is recommended that the amount of dietary purines should be kept between 600 to 1,000 milligrams per day. Having too much uric acid in your blood can cause attacks of gout. It can also cause kidney stones and blockage in the kidney. The crystallization of the excessive uric acid in your blood can be eased by reducing purine-rich food to only 100 to 150 milligrams daily, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, and consuming urinary alkalinizer like Ural. It consists of sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate that increases the urinary pH and solubility of uric acid to prevent crystallization. Best of all, it's lemon-flavored and sugar-free. Ural, effective urinary alkalinizer. Neutralize your uric acid problem now.
Having to return to Dewan Rakyat appears to have annoyed several opposition MPs who say that the last-minute change is troublesome as they've already made other plans.
The decision to extend the Dewan Rakyat sitting did not appear to sit well with several opposition lawmakers. The opposition MPs argued that they have all made plans to go back to their constituencies.
Apa salahnya kalau tangguh rang undang-undang ni dibawa kepada sidang akan datang? Kenapa kita nak kelang kabut, nak gopoh? Ini seolah-olah, bagi saya Tan Sri, seolah-olah kita buat rang undang-undang ni macam buat
orang Sabah sudah beli tiket lah.
Macam buat di kedai mamak. Macam kita buat di kedai mamak. Sekejap semalam bawa mai satu pindaan, cadangan pindaan, menurunkan denda daripada 1 juta tinggal 500,000
patut diumum awal lah seminggu.
50,000. Jadi tiba-tiba sekarang hari ini nak tangguh sampai hari Isnin untuk ada perbincangan, select committee dan sebagainya. Ini bagi saya bahawa bukan kerajaan 90%.
The current Dewan Rakyat sitting, which started on the 13th of September, was originally scheduled to end today. Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim eventually explained to the House that this extension was a result of a meeting this morning between Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, Health Director General Dr Noor Hisham Abdullah and opposition party leaders. Based on their negotiations, it has been agreed that the Select Committee will meet at 8 a.m. on Monday, while the Dewan Rakyat proceedings will begin at 10 a.m.
That's enough politics for now. Malaysia has detected its second case involving the Omicron variant.
Malaysia has confirmed the second Omicron variant case in the country. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin revealed that the latest patient was an 8-year-old Malaysian girl who returned from Nigeria. Khairi said there are also 18 other suspected cases of the variant.
Warga negara Malaysia yang menetap bersama keluarga di Lagos, Nigeria. Keputusan ujian RT-PCR COVID-19 ke atas kes sebelum berlepas ke Malaysia adalah negatif. Kes telah tiba di Malaysia bersama ibu dan adik perempuannya pada 5 Disember dari Lagos, Nigeria dan penerbangan transit di Doha, Qatar. Kes dan ahli keluarganya telah menjalani ujian RT-PCR COVID-19 semasa ketibaan di KLIA, Lapangan Terbang Antarabangsa Kuala Lumpur. Mereka telah diberi perintah pengawasan dan pemerhatian di bawah Seksyen 15 Akta 342 dan diarahkan untuk menjalani kuarantin wajib di rumah. Keputusan ujian RT-PCR semasa ketibaan didapati positif COVID-19 pada 7 Disember 2021.
Her mother and her younger sister both tested negative upon arrival in Malaysia on the 5th day and on the 11th day. They were also asymptomatic. The other close contacts in the case is a taxi driver as well as her father, who arrived in Malaysia on the 12th of December and is being quarantined at a private center. The father is negative for COVID-19 while a test on the taxi driver, who is asymptomatic, is being conducted. There were 35 other contacts on the flight the girl was on, all of whom tested negative on arrival and on day 5. According to Khairi, they are being monitored. The results on the 18 suspected cases are expected to be released tomorrow.
And that could only mean one thing: more measures to stop the spread of the new variant. And with Christmas and New Year coming, don't expect to attend any large celebrations.
Large New Year's Eve parties will be banned this year following the detection of the second COVID-19 case involving the Omicron variant. Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said only small-scale and privately held New Year's Eve and Christmas gatherings will be allowed.
We are not allowing for big New Year's Eve gatherings, for private New Year's Eve gatherings, as well as for private Christmas celebrations. You will need to do a self-test before you go for those events.
This means that those attending small-scale private celebrations, which is allowed for the time being, must conduct self-COVID-19 tests first. The additional measures came following the detection of the second Omicron case and 18 other suspected cases that underwent genomic sequencing.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.
Everyone wants to see these scenes bigger. That's why we've got bigger TVs for everyone to enjoy them bigger. Watch colors come to life on a large screen. LG NanoCell.